The endless darkness of space stretched far beyond the limits of human imagination. The stars shone faintly as if whispering secrets of distant worlds. But Earth had no intention of staying silent in the face of threats. Captain Sukjin stood on the bridge of the warship Daehan, staring at the glowing radar screens that showed distant ships approaching the solar system. His brow furrowed. Every signal indicated a fleet larger than anything humanity had ever encountered, and the Council on Earth had warned him that the coming hours would decide the fate of worlds. Commander Miare stood beside him, her hand resting lightly on the railing. She was calm, but inside, her mind raced through countless simulations of the battle to come. The crew trusted her, and the humans had always relied on strategy and courage to survive. She remembered the early days when Earth's fleets were nothing more than small ships that barely reached the moon. Now they had the Daehan, the most advanced warship humanity had ever built, armed with weapons capable of tearing through entire alien vessels. Lieutenant Haesung monitored the communications channels. Alien messages flooded the network, warnings and threats mixed with unfamiliar language. Most of it was unintelligible, but the tone was clear. They did not expect humans to resist. Haesung shared a glance with Miare, a silent acknowledgement that the time for talk was over. The crew prepared quietly, each member moving with a sense of purpose. Engineers checked weapon systems, ensuring the railguns and energy cannons were ready. Pilots ran simulations, scanning for weak points in the alien formation. Sukjin walked down the narrow corridors, nodding at the crew members. He had always believed that humans were resourceful, and in this moment, he needed every ounce of their skill and bravery. On Earth, the Galactic Council debated furiously. They had long considered humans unpredictable and dangerous, but the speed of their technological development surprised even the oldest members. They sent envoys to warn Earth once again, but the humans ignored them. Earth had always defended its sovereignty fiercely, and now the Council faced the reality that the humans were ready for war. Sukjin returned to the bridge as the alien fleet appeared on the main screen. Their ships were massive, dark, and intimidating, arranged in perfect formations designed to crush anything in their path. The humans had expected this, but the sight still sent a shiver down his spine. Mireille's hand found his shoulder briefly. No words were needed. They understood each other perfectly. "Prepare to engage," Sukjin ordered. His voice was steady, but inside, excitement mixed with anxiety. This was the moment humanity had been waiting for. Haesung tapped the controls, sending the fleet into defensive positions. Smaller human ships flanked the Daehan, forming a protective barrier while the larger warship prepared to strike. The first shots came not from the humans but from the aliens. Brilliant beams of energy cut through the darkness, striking distant debris fields as a warning. The humans watched carefully, learning from every move. Miare calculated trajectories, Sukjin adjusted shields, and the fleet responded with precision. Humans had survived worse odds in history, and they would do so again. In the midst of preparation, young Ensign Jiho looked up at the screens, his eyes wide. It was his first real battle. Older crew members noticed his nervousness and gave him quiet encouragement. Human courage often began in moments like these, born from fear but strengthened by unity. Jiho swallowed hard and focused on his duties, knowing that failure was not an option. The alien fleet advanced, their movements swift and calculated. The Daehan fired the first human shot, a precise railgun blast that tore through one of the alien ships. Explosions lit up the darkness, signaling the start of a war that would shake the galaxy. The crew held their positions, firing in controlled bursts. Each attack aimed to maximize damage while conserving energy. Sukjin watched the strategy unfold. Humans were slower than the alien ships, but their tactics were unmatched. They anticipated moves, predicted attacks, and struck at the most vulnerable points. The smaller ships darted around the battlefield, drawing fire while the Daehan delivered crushing blows. Miare coordinated their movements, her mind a whirlwind of calculations and contingencies. In a distant command room on Earth, the Council watched the battle through live feeds. Some members were astonished at the humans' bravery and skill. They whispered among themselves, realizing that the humans had not only survived but had begun to dominate. Reports indicated that the alien formation was weakening, confusion spreading among their ranks. Back on the Daehan, the battle continued without pause. Sukjin and Miare moved like dancers in a deadly choreography, directing attacks, managing shields, and keeping morale high. The alien ships fired relentlessly, but each assault was met with a counter, a strategy, a human solution that seemed to appear from nowhere. As hours passed, the humans began to gain the upper hand. Explosions sent alien ships spiraling into the void, and the once imposing fleet now struggled to maintain formation. Even the most hardened crew members felt a thrill of hope. They had faced overwhelming odds before, and now they were proving why humanity could never be underestimated. Commander Miare took a deep breath and spoke over the comms, her voice calm but firm. Focus on the weak points. Remember, the Council underestimates us. We will not fail. The message echoed throughout the fleet, boosting morale and sharpening resolve. The aliens, seeing their losses, began to retreat. Their formations broke apart, panic spreading among their commanders. Humans pursued them cautiously, knowing that overconfidence could be fatal. Every move was calculated, every decision deliberate. The Daehan remained at the heart of the assault, its guns blazing, its shields holding firm against enemy fire. Sukjin allowed himself a moment to glance at the stars. He thought of Earth, of the people who had built this fleet, and of the humans' capacity for resilience. They had come far from the early days of space exploration, and this battle was a testament to everything humanity had endured. He knew that this was only the beginning, that the galaxy would soon recognize the strength and determination of Earth's people. As the alien fleet withdrew, the humans held their positions, wary and vigilant. The battle had been fierce, and the cost was visible in the damaged ships and exhausted crew. Yet humanity had shown its power, its strategy, and its courage. The war had begun, but humans had proven they could face the galaxy and survive. Sukjin turned to Miare, their eyes meeting with unspoken agreement. Humanity would not bow. Humanity would not surrender. And the galaxy would soon learn that Earth's warship was a force that could silence worlds. The darkness of space seemed a little less vast, the stars a little brighter, and the humans aboard the Daehan ready for whatever came next. The first battle had ended, but the war was far from over, and Earth's fury had only just begun. The human fleet had won its first engagement, but the war was far from over. Captain Sukjin stood on the bridge of the Daehan, watching the remnants of the alien fleet retreat into the darkness. His mind was already planning the next move. Commander Miare pointed to the holographic display, showing scattered enemy ships and the positions of human units. "Captain, we can pursue them carefully," she said. "We have the advantage, but we must not underestimate them." Sukjin nodded. Humans had learned to respect their enemies, but they also trusted in their own ingenuity. Lieutenant Haesung monitored the radar, marking the locations of ships that had survived the first battle. The alien fleet was regrouping, trying to rebuild and plan their next attack. Ensign Jiho, still nervous from the last engagement, checked the weapon systems. He had gained confidence, knowing that humans could fight as one unit. The engineers worked tirelessly to repair the minor damages sustained in the previous fight. Every human aboard knew that preparation was the key to survival. Back on Earth, the Council watched live feeds from the battlefield. Their reports highlighted the humans' precision and strategy. Some Council members whispered that Earth had become more dangerous than they had imagined. They debated sending reinforcements, but fear of human retaliation kept them cautious. Humans had proven that they could not be controlled by threats alone. The Daehan moved forward, leading the human fleet into the territory the aliens had abandoned. Sukjin's plan was simple but risky. Isolate small groups of enemy ships and destroy them before they could reunite. Miare calculated the trajectories and predicted where the enemy would try to hide or regroup. The first encounter came unexpectedly. A small group of alien ships tried to ambush the humans from an asteroid field. Captain Sukjin gave orders swiftly, and the fleet responded immediately. Railguns and energy cannons lit up space, cutting through enemy vessels with precision. The ambush was destroyed before it could fully form. Mireille watched the battle unfold, her mind moving faster than the weapons themselves. She directed smaller ships to flank the enemy, while the Dahan focused on the largest threats. The humans' ability to adapt in real time gave them an edge that the aliens did not expect. In the midst of combat, Lieutenant Haesung noticed an anomaly on the radar. A faster, more heavily armed alien ship approached from a different angle. "Captain, we have a new threat," he warned. Sukjin studied the readings. The ship was advanced, likely a command vessel. Its weapons were more powerful, and its shields seemed stronger than anything the humans had faced so far. "Mireille, prepare the fleet for a concentrated strike. We cannot let it join their main forces." The human ships moved into position. The Dahan fired the first shot, striking the alien vessel and testing its defenses. The attack barely scratched the shields, showing that this was a formidable opponent. Mireille quickly devised a plan to use smaller ships to draw its fire while the Dahan targeted weak points with precision strikes. The battle raged on, and the humans showed their greatest strength: teamwork. Each ship acted with purpose, following orders without hesitation. The smaller vessels darted around, confusing the enemy, while the Dahan focused on exploiting openings. The alien command ship fired relentlessly, but the humans anticipated each movement, countering with a combination of attacks and evasive maneuvers. As the battle continued, Captain Sukjin felt a surge of pride. Humans had always been adaptable and resilient, and in the vacuum of space, these traits shone brightest. He thought of the early days of space exploration, when humans barely left the atmosphere, and realized how far they had come. This fleet, this warship, this crew represented the culmination of human ingenuity and determination. Commander Mireille observed the alien ship faltering. Its shields flickered under constant pressure. She issued the order for the final strike. "All units, focus fire on the main vessel." The fleet obeyed instantly. Beams of energy and concentrated railgun fire struck the alien command ship from all sides. Explosions rocked the vessel, and it began to break apart. The humans watched as the enemy's morale crumbled alongside their ship. Without leadership, the remaining forces were disorganized, vulnerable to the humans' continued assault. Ensign Jiho felt a surge of confidence as he aimed at a smaller alien ship. His hands were steady now. Humans fought not just with technology, but with courage and determination. Each ship destroyed was a testament to their resilience. In the command room of the alien fleet, panic spread. Leaders argued and disagreed, realizing too late that they had underestimated humans. Orders conflicted, and many ships turned to flee. The humans pursued cautiously, ensuring that the enemy could not regroup while avoiding unnecessary losses. Sukjin allowed himself a brief moment to reflect. Humanity had always relied on strategy, adaptability, and unity. They had survived threats far greater than themselves before, and now they were proving their strength on a galactic scale. Every decision, every strike, every act of courage contributed to a larger victory. As the battle subsided, the human fleet regrouped. Ships that had been damaged were repaired, supplies replenished, and crew members rested. The Dahan remained at the center, a symbol of Earth's power and humanity's determination. Captain Sukjin looked at the stars, knowing that the galaxy was watching, learning that humans could not be underestimated. Commander Mireille reviewed the fleet status, satisfied with the outcome. The humans had not only survived but had gained territory and momentum. Lieutenant Haesung reported that alien forces were scattered, and their capacity to organize had been severely diminished. Every small victory brought humanity closer to dominance in the galaxy. On Earth, the Council could only observe. Some members recognized that humans had become a force beyond control. They debated the consequences of this battle, realizing that the human strategy and courage were unmatched. Humans had shown the galaxy their strength, and the Council feared what they could do next. As the human fleet continued its advance, Sukjin and Mireille prepared for the challenges ahead. The war was ongoing, but humanity had shown that with courage, intelligence, and unity, they could face any threat. The Dahan led the fleet, and behind it, Humans were ready to strike, adapt, and conquer. In the dark expanse of space, the first part of humanity's war was over, but the story was only beginning. Humans had proven themselves capable of overcoming fear and adversity, and their journey through the galaxy had just begun. Every star, every planet, every enemy fleet would learn that Earth's warship and human courage could not be silenced. The galaxy would soon know the fury and strength of humans, and the next battle would be even greater. The galaxy seemed to hold its breath as the human fleet advanced deeper into enemy territory. Captain Sukjin stood on the bridge of the Daehan, observing the scattered remnants of alien fleets on the screens. Commander Miare beside him calculated the most effective attack paths, ensuring that the humans would strike hard and fast. The silence of space was tense, like the calm before a storm, and every crew member felt the weight of the moment. Lieutenant Haesung checked the weapon systems repeatedly, ensuring the railguns, energy cannons, and defense shields were ready for the coming onslaught. Ensign Jiho, now more confident, monitored the targeting systems with precision. Each human aboard the Daehan understood the stakes. The fate of many worlds rested on their skill and courage. The humans had gained momentum from their previous victories. Alien patrols and small fleets had been destroyed or scattered, and the humans knew the main alien command fleet remained ahead, preparing to retaliate. Sukjin issued orders calmly, his voice steady despite the tension. The fleet moved as one, a coordinated force, each ship aware of its role in the larger plan. Suddenly, the alien fleet appeared on the radar, larger and more organized than expected. Ships of all sizes surrounded the humans, attempting to cut them off from the core of their advance. Miare analyzed their formation quickly. "They are trying to trap us," she said. "But we can break through if we attack from multiple angles." Sukjin nodded. Humans had always relied on creativity and adaptability in war, and this battle would test them to their limits. All units execute the spread formation. Focus on the weak points first. Let's show them the strength of Earth. The first shots were exchanged with blinding speed. The alien ships fired energy beams, cutting across space, while human railguns and cannons struck with precision. Explosions lit the darkness as metal and fire collided. The Daehan fired a concentrated blast at the center of the enemy formation, opening a path for the smaller human vessels to penetrate deeper. Commander Miare directed attacks with sharp focus. Jiho, flank the left side. Haesung, target their shields and armor simultaneously. The crew responded instantly, the human fleet moving as a single, unstoppable unit. Despite being outnumbered, humans used strategy and coordination to level the playing field. In the midst of battle, the alien command ship attempted a powerful counterattack. Its weapons were enormous, capable of destroying multiple human ships at once. Sukjin studied it carefully. "We can't allow it to dominate. Focus all firepower on that vessel and support from the sides." The humans executed the plan flawlessly. Smaller ships drew enemy fire while the Daehan concentrated its attacks on the command vessel. Explosions rocked the alien ship, and the humans watched as it struggled to maintain formation. Each strike weakened its shields, and the alien crew grew desperate, firing blindly and creating openings. Lieutenant Haesung called out, "Captain, shields at 70%, but we've breached their outer defenses." Sukjin allowed himself a small smile. Humans had endured worse situations, and their adaptability continued to give them the upper hand. Commander Miare continued to calculate attack angles, finding new weaknesses in the alien formation. The alien fleet was faltering. Ships that had once seemed unstoppable now moved chaotically. Ensign Jiho took a deep breath and fired at an enemy ship attempting to escape. His shot hit perfectly, destroying the vessel instantly. Humans cheered, though the noise was only within the communication system. Victory was close, but they remained vigilant. As the battle continued, Sukjin reflected on humanity's unique strengths. Humans relied not just on technology but on courage, creativity, and unity. They could adapt to unexpected situations, think quickly, and act decisively. The alien fleets, though powerful, lacked this flexibility. Humans exploited every mistake, turning fear into strategy. Commander Miare noticed another cluster of alien ships trying to regroup. "Captain, if we strike now, we can break their formation completely." Sukjin agreed. The Daehan fired a massive energy blast, followed by a volley from the smaller ships. The alien cluster erupted in fire, scattering the rest of the fleet and leaving a clear path toward the main command ship. The humans pressed forward. Each maneuver, each shot, displayed their skill and determination. The alien forces were no longer a unified threat. They were disorganized, desperate, and vulnerable. The humans advanced steadily, closing in on the remnants of the enemy. Ensign Ji-ho, now confident and focused, handled his duties flawlessly. Hae-sung coordinated the fleet, ensuring attacks were precise and shields were strong. Commander Miare and Captain Sukjin directed strategy and tactics, combining experience with intuition. Together, they led humanity's fleet like a single organism, unstoppable and determined. Finally, the alien command ship faced its end. The Daehan fired a concentrated strike at its core systems, while smaller ships blocked escape routes and attacked weak points. The ship shuddered under the onslaught and then exploded in a brilliant display of fire and debris. Humans watched as the final enemy vessel was destroyed, silence returning to the battlefield. Sukjin allowed himself a moment to breathe. Humans had achieved a decisive victory, showing that courage, strategy, and unity could overcome even the most formidable foes. The fleet regrouped, repairing minor damage and preparing for the next phase of their campaign. Commander Miare surveyed the battlefield, satisfaction evident in her eyes. The humans had struck a blow that would echo across the galaxy. The remaining alien forces were scattered, morale shattered, and their ability to organize severely diminished. Humanity had proven its strength and resilience once again. On Earth, the Council could only watch in astonishment. The humans had faced a powerful enemy and emerged victorious through strategy, coordination, and bravery. Some council members began to fear that Earth was no longer just a participant in galactic affairs but a dominant power. The humans' victory would send a message to all who opposed them. Earth was not to be underestimated. As the human fleet continued its patrol, Sukjin and Miare prepared for the challenges ahead. They knew that battles would grow more intense, enemies more desperate, and stakes higher. Yet, humans had shown they could survive and thrive against overwhelming odds. The Daehan, the humans aboard it, and the fleet behind them represented the enduring spirit of Earth. The galaxy had witnessed humanity's fury and skill. The war was far from over, but humans had proven themselves capable of facing any threat, adapting to challenges, and achieving victory. Every star, every planet, every alien force would soon recognize the might and determination of Earth's warship and its human crew. The story of humanity's courage and strategy would continue, unstoppable and unforgettable, as they prepared for the battles yet to come. The human fleet moved cautiously through the vast emptiness of space, following the retreating alien forces. Captain Sukjin stood on the bridge of the Daehan, his eyes scanning the screens for any sign of ambush. Commander Miare worked beside him, her mind calculating every possible move the enemy could make. Humans had proven their strength, but the war was far from over. Lieutenant Hae-sung monitored the radar and sensors, noting the scattered alien ships attempting to regroup. Many were damaged, others lacked coordination, but the humans knew better than to underestimate their opponents. Ensign Ji-ho checked weapon systems again, his hands steady. Every member of the fleet understood that caution and strategy were essential. The remaining alien forces were desperate. They had lost their command ships and many fighters, and the morale of their crews was low. Yet, they attempted to organize small strikes, hoping to slow the human advance. Sukjin observed their movements carefully. Miare, prepare the fleet for coordinated attacks. We cannot allow them to rebuild, he said. The Daehan led the fleet, its massive guns ready. The smaller human ships flanked the enemy, cutting off escape routes and forcing them into disadvantageous positions. Humans relied not just on strength but on precision and unity. Each ship moved in harmony, following commands with perfect timing. The aliens, though strong individually, were scattered and unprepared for such coordination. Suddenly, a group of alien ships attempted to escape through a nearby asteroid field. Sukjin gave orders immediately. Haesung, target the lead ships. Jiho, cover the flank. Miare, direct the fleet to intercept. The humans executed the plan with precision, cutting off the alien escape and forcing them back into the main battlefield. The aliens tried to regroup near a small planet, hoping to use its gravity to their advantage. Sukjin anticipated this move. Prepare orbital assault protocols. We cannot let them gain ground. The Daehan fired warning shots, demonstrating the human strength and determination. Smaller ships followed, attacking with coordinated volleys. Commander Miare observed the alien formation breaking apart. They are trying to form a defensive line, but it will not hold, she said. Humans had learned to exploit weaknesses quickly, and the aliens were vulnerable. Every attack the humans made was calculated, aimed at creating maximum disruption. Lieutenant Haesung reported on the energy shields of the remaining alien ships. Captain, most of their shields are failing. If we concentrate fire, we can destroy them quickly. Sukjin nodded. Humans always took calculated risks, and this was the moment to strike decisively. The fleet focused on the largest remaining ships, overwhelming them with combined firepower. Ensign Jiho targeted one of the alien frigates. He fired steadily, hitting weak points identified by the targeting system. The ship exploded, debris scattering in space. Each victory, small or large, contributed to the overall strategy. The humans pressed forward, showing no hesitation and no fear. The alien leaders realized their situation was dire. They attempted desperate measures, including kamikaze-style attacks, hoping to damage the Daehan and smaller ships. Sukjin remained calm, issuing orders that minimized risk while neutralizing threats. Humans had faced danger before and always adapted. Their ingenuity and unity gave them an edge that aliens could not match. As the battle continued, humans began to liberate planets that had been under alien control. They sent messages of hope and support, showing that humans fought not only for survival but for justice. Commander Miare coordinated these efforts while keeping the fleet focused on military objectives. Humans were expanding their influence strategically and morally. Sukjin allowed himself a brief reflection. Humans had grown from small explorers to a dominant force in space. Their courage, intelligence, and teamwork had enabled them to face overwhelming odds. The Daehan and its crew were a symbol of humanity's enduring strength. They had proven that humans could not be intimidated or defeated easily. The alien forces were scattered and demoralized. Many ships retreated further, hoping to regroup elsewhere. Humans pursued cautiously, aware that overconfidence could lead to mistakes. Every move was deliberate, every action calculated. The Daehan remained at the center, leading the fleet and maintaining order. Lieutenant Haesung noted the patterns of retreat. Captain, if we cut them off here, we can prevent them from reorganizing and end this threat completely. Sukjin nodded. Humans always planned for the long term, and patience combined with skill would secure victory. The fleet adjusted its formation, anticipating the next move of the enemy. Ensign Jiho, now experienced from multiple engagements, handled his duties efficiently. He monitored communications, targeting systems, and defensive shields. The human fleet moved as one, a single organism guided by strategy and determination. The aliens, though once confident, now faced the full force of human coordination and intelligence. As the final alien ships attempted to flee toward a distant star system, the humans launched a concentrated attack. Beams of energy and railgun fire struck with precision. The alien ships exploded one by one, leaving nothing but debris in their wake. Humans had demonstrated superior technology, strategy, and courage. The remnants of the enemy were powerless to resist. Sukjin surveyed the battlefield. The humans had achieved another decisive victory. The alien fleet was broken, their forces scattered, and the remaining planets under their control were vulnerable. Commander Miare reviewed the data, confirming that the humans' careful planning and execution had paid off. The fleet regrouped, repairing minor damage and preparing for the next phase of their campaign. On Earth, the Council observed the progress with a mix of awe and concern. Humans had shown that they were capable of not just surviving but dominating in space warfare. Their unity, adaptability, and bravery were unmatched. The Council realized that Earth was no longer a passive participant but a powerful force that could shape the future of the galaxy. As the fleet continued its advance, Sukjin and Mira prepared for future challenges. They knew that other alien factions might respond with greater force, but humans had proven their resilience. The Daehan and its crew were ready, representing the strength and determination of all humanity. In the darkness of space, humans had not only fought but had triumphed. They had shown courage, strategy, and unity. Every planet, every star, every enemy fleet would learn to recognize the might of Earth's warship and the people who controlled it. The human journey through the galaxy continued, unstoppable and determined, as they prepared for the next battles that lay ahead. The final battle approached and the human fleet was ready. Captain Sukjin stood on the bridge of the Daehan, his eyes fixed on the approaching alien armada. Commander Mira worked beside him, analyzing every detail on the holographic displays. The enemy was strong, their numbers many, but humans had learned, adapted, and grown stronger with every encounter. Lieutenant Haesung monitored the weapons systems, ensuring that railguns, energy cannons, and defensive shields were operating at peak efficiency. Ensign Jiho, now seasoned from previous battles, checked targeting systems and coordinated with smaller ships to maximize their impact. Every crew member understood the importance of precision and teamwork. They knew this battle could determine the future of the galaxy. The alien fleet formed a massive wall of ships, their formation intimidating. They aimed to crush the humans with sheer numbers and firepower. Sukjin studied their formation carefully. We will not be intimidated. Humans fight with intelligence, strategy, and courage. All units execute the formation we practiced. Focus on weak points and strike hard. The Daehan fired the first shot, a concentrated railgun blast that tore through an alien battleship. Explosions erupted across the enemy fleet, signaling the beginning of the final confrontation. Smaller human ships darted around, flanking the alien vessels, drawing fire, and creating openings for the Daehan and larger ships to strike. Commander Mira directed attacks with calm precision. Haesung, target the command ships. Jiho, cover the flanks. All other units focus on shields and weak armor points. The human fleet moved as a single entity, each ship responding instantly to the orders. The aliens fired back, but humans anticipated their moves, dodging, counterattacking, and exploiting every weakness. The battle intensified. Alien beams cut across space, colliding with human shields. The Daehan fired multiple volleys, each one carefully aimed to disable critical systems. Smaller ships intercepted attacks, protecting the larger vessels while striking at vulnerable points. The human strategy and coordination gave them an edge, despite the enemy's overwhelming numbers. Ensign Jiho focused on a smaller alien ship attempting to escape. He fired steadily, hitting the target with precision. The ship exploded, debris scattering across space. Each victory, though small, contributed to the larger plan. The humans advanced steadily, relentless, and determined. The alien command ships attempted a final counterattack, firing all their weapons in a coordinated assault. Sukjin observed carefully. Mira, we expected this. Divide their fire, weaken their shields, and strike at the core systems. We can end this now. The humans executed the plan flawlessly. The Daehan concentrated its fire on the lead command ship, while smaller vessels attacked from all sides. Explosions rocked the alien ships as their shields failed. Panic spread among the enemy ranks, their formation breaking apart. Humans exploited every opening, striking decisively and with precision. Lieutenant Haesung reported, "Captain, the command ships are heavily damaged. We can finish them." Sukjin nodded. "All units, prepare for final strike. Focus everything on the remaining threats." The Daehan and the fleet launched a massive attack, beams and railgun fire striking simultaneously. The alien command ship shook violently, then exploded in a brilliant display of fire and debris. The remaining alien forces were scattered, leaderless, and demoralized. Humanity had achieved total dominance in this engagement. Commander Mira watched the battlefield, satisfaction evident on her face. The humans had proven that strategy, courage, and unity could overcome any challenge. The enemy's power had been shattered, their fleets scattered, and their influence in the galaxy weakened. Humans had shown that they were a force to be reckoned with. Captain Sukjin allowed himself a moment to reflect. From the early days of exploration to the construction of the Dahan and the rise of the human fleet, humanity had grown stronger with every challenge. They had faced overwhelming odds and emerged victorious. Every crew member aboard the Dahan had contributed to this triumph, proving that humans could endure, adapt, and conquer. On Earth, the Council observed the battle with a mixture of awe and fear. Humans had demonstrated not only their technological superiority but their ability to think, plan, and act decisively. The galaxy would remember this victory, and every alien force would reconsider their assumptions about humanity. As the human fleet regrouped, repairs were made, and supplies replenished. The Dahan remained at the center, a symbol of Earth's strength and humanity's resilience. Sukjin and Mira prepared for the next challenges, knowing that the galaxy held more threats, but confident that humans could meet them all. In the silence after the battle, humans reflected on what they had achieved. They had struck with fury, silenced worlds, and shown the galaxy that Earth's warship and its crew were unstoppable. Every star, every planet, every enemy would recognize the power and determination of humans. The story of humanity's courage, strategy, and unity would continue. The Dahan and the fleet were ready to face whatever came next. Humans had proven that they could adapt, survive, and triumph against overwhelming odds. The galaxy had witnessed the fury of Earth, and its people knew that this was only the beginning. Humanity would continue to rise, unstoppable and unyielding, as the defenders of their home and conquerors of the stars.